this was for children, but I guess adults may have done them as well. This wall has no mortar, so try stone walling and you get 25 points. If you got both of these questions, what kind of stone? Name one plant growing in your wall. Biggest flower, sunflower, 20 points. So maybe we might do that one. But you can see that there were lots of subjects at the seaside on the farm, which I have, I think, on the farm. In the country, at the zoo, animals, birds and reptiles, boats and waterways, aircraft, the sights of London, on the road, in the street, all sorts of things, country crafts, motorcycles and cycles, antique furniture, all sorts of things. So I have in the garden trees, wild fruits and fungi, birds. On the farm, in the hedgerow, pond and stream, and the sky. And I think I also have at the seaside, but I can't find that at the moment. So let us do in the garden. And I'm going to bring the camera down a bit so you can see the book a little bit better. Okay, there we go. Now I've also got my pointer, because some of the writing is quite tiny to point out. So let's begin. It says, I Spy is an old game, but played the modern way, it is the most fascinating game in the world. The best of it is you can enjoy it wherever you are, by yourself or with others. The more you play it, the more exciting it becomes. Now I think these books were started by the News, Chronicle and Daily Dispatch newspaper in London. Flowers, fruits, vegetables. Yes, I spy all those in a garden, but have you been lost in a maze, or measured the height of the tallest flower? Have you discovered a fruit tree shaped like a fan, or a box tree in the form of a peacock? Can you recognize the herb which, when twined in your hair, is said to give you a better memory? These and many other delights can be found when you follow the I Spy trail in the garden. I spy over the garden wall, and in the picture you can see these two kids, and you can tell this is a really old book because the boy has a shirt and tie on and a jacket, very formally dressed, and they're looking over the garden wall. Presumably this is their neighbour, and I think he's doing some gardening or something, or is he making a wall? Okay, look, there's a cloche. Hooray, 20 points already. This is what the kids So the first points you can get are fun with the marrow. Do you like cutting your initials? Of course, some places are better than others for this pastime. Maybe your teacher would frown if you tried it on your desk at school, but in the garden there is a splendid place on the skin of the common vegetable marrow. Try pricking your initials or your name with a nail or a pin when the marrow is quite small. As the marrow grows, so will your letters get bigger. Score your points either for your own name or someone else's done in this way. And then you have to answer this question: what colour was your marrow? And that scores you 30 points. I just hope that the kids who actually did this back in the day got permission to make their initials, got their initials into the marrow, because if you did that in a supermarket, I think you'd be thrown out. Lost in the maze. This is number 2. Here is a section of a maze. I spy high hedges, often of box, hornbeam, holly or yew, and many twisting and winding paths. To maze means to be wilder, and sure enough it is easy to lose your way in a maze. But here is a tip which may be useful to you. Keep turning to the right. So you have to put down the name of your maze and what kind of hedge is the maze made up of, and the score is 40 points. Next we have a grapevine. This is where you should be, in the right place at the right time. I spy a vine growing out of doors. Its leaves are large and its branches are trained, usually horizontally. The fruit hangs in clusters. In England, indoor vines are more common than the outdoor ones. You may score for either with or without fruit. And the questions are: where did you see your vine? Indoors or outdoors? That gets you 30 points. Question 4. This paving is crazy. Well named, but some examples of this sort of paving are crazier than others. In good crazy paving, I spy that the stones are arranged in a pleasant, irregular fashion, and that they have no hollows in which rainwater may collect. Notice too that in some crazy paving, spaces are left here and there for rock plants. A very good idea. The questions are: what kind questions are: for which ornament are you claiming your score, and where did you see it? 20 points. Question 7. Welcome to the birds. Birds are more welcome to the ornamental garden than to the fruit plot, and redskins will get lots of fun by watching them. In the picture, I spy a bird bath, a nesting box with a peep window, and a bird table. Count your score for any one of these. So the questions are: for which of the three are you scoring, and what was it made of? 20 points. Question 8. Bushes for butterflies. I spy butterflies and moths, put you on a fascinating trail. That's another version of this book. But maybe you can save your legs by looking for the bushes and flowers which attract butterflies. First of all comes the buddleia, a shrub very popular with coloured butterflies. I spy its long spikes made up of a great number of little flowers. Butterflies like lilac blossom too, and also sedum, spectabile, a variety of stone crop. And the questions are: which of the three flowers above did you see, and what colour was it? 25 points. Next, question 9. Blossoms for bees. Nectar was the drink of the gods, and in nature it is the sweet essence buried deep in the heart of a flower. No wonder that bees busy themselves in searching for it in order to make their honey. In the sketch are 3 favourite flowers for bees: crocus, bell heather, borage. Count your score for any one of them on which you discover a bee. On which of the 3 did you find a bee? What colour was the flower? 25 points. Question 10. A herb garden. In the picture, I spy beds of herbs arranged in geometric pattern. Herbs are fascinating plants, for they are used in medicines, perfumes, hair washes, vinegars, leaves for tea making, and for a variety of other purposes. Where did you find your herb garden, and how many different herbs were in it? 50 points for that one. Gosh. Question 11. An interesting herb. All herbs are interesting, but rosemary is one of the best. Shakespeare wrote of rosemary for remembrance, for in his day it was the custom to carry rosemary at funerals. Of course, he may have been thinking of the Greek students who, when studying for examinations, put rosemary in their hair. I spy a large grey bush with blue blossoms. Rosemary has many uses. It is good for the hair and is often included in hair preparations. It has a delicious scent. In olden days it was strewn on the floor and carried in the hand, and nowadays it is used in the making of perfumes, powders and soaps, medicines, and you'll find it in salads too. small gardens, I spy a pool made of concrete with paths and steps, usually of stone slabs or crazy paving. Now let's have a look at the contents of the pond. I spy water plants, such as water lilies, reeds, and iris, goldfish. They eat insects harmful to the water, lily, and snails and beetles to act as scavengers. So the questions are: name one plant growing in your lily pond and say what colour were its flowers. 20 points. Question 13. Miniature garden. Miniature gardens are often made in troughs, large bowls, or old sinks. The Japanese are famous for their miniature gardens and for their skill in growing small trees and shrubs. In the sketch, I spy some Japanese features: water with a bridge over it, swans, storks, tiny trees, and summer houses. But in Western miniature gardens, alpine plants and cacti are more common. Count your score for any miniature garden. What was your miniature garden made in, and name two of its contents. 45 points for that one. Question 14. Topiary. The dictionary says that topiary is the art of trimming trees and shrubs into fanciful shapes, and fanciful they certainly are. You can find birds, animals, geometric figures, mushrooms, chessmen, etc., cleverly cut by the gardener with his shears. In a Buckinghamshire garden stands a full-size donkey, a credit to the topiarist. Where did you see your topiary, and what kind of tree or hedge was it? 25 points. Question 15. Hydrangea. I spy a lovely shrub, usually with pink, blue or white flowers. It's fun trying to get blue flowers from a shrub, which bears pink ones. Gardeners suggest watering the soil either with alum or oxide of iron dissolved in water. Try it for yourself and see what happens. Cuttings taken from a blue hydrangea may bear pink flowers. Where did you see your hydrangea? 25 points. Question 16. The tallest flower. Is the hollyhock the tallest of all British flowers? In the sketch, I spy a hollyhock several times as high as the spade. And in the tallest flower contest, the prize was won by a hollyhock 30 feet tall. I spy in a hollyhock a tall single stem, large broad leaves, and many hairy flowers, usually reds, pinks, or yellows. So there you are, on the trail for the tallest hollyhock. So the questions are height and where did you find it? 20 points. The biggest flower. 17. So we've got plenty of these on my background. Is the annual sunflower the biggest of all British flowers? In the picture, I spy the yellow sunflower. The stems are usually from 5 to 7 feet in height, and the flowers, well, you must measure them for yourself. Then make up your mind if the sunflower is the biggest flower you have ever seen. So you have to fill this in, the size of the flower, give distance right across. And Question 18. The sweetest flower. The royal lily, which is there, and the white jasmine here, have a lovely scent, but of course there are many flowers whose perfume delights you. The rose, the scented violet, the lily of the valley, the honeysuckle, the pink, those are a few of them. Your choice for the sweetest flower is, and the colour of its flower, 20 points scored. Then we go on to question 19. Sun lovers. So, the Californian poppy is here. The ice plant here. They look best when the sun shines on them. What feeling did you get when you touched the leaves of the ice plant? 30 points. Night revelers. Question 20. These plants are the tobacco plant, which is here. Evening primrose here. Give their sweetest scent after the sun has set. How tall was your night reveller? C or D? 30 points. Question 21. Formal garden. The picture speaks for itself. I spy a geometric pattern, straight edges, flower borders of regular shape, dwarf edges, bushes symmetrically placed, and in the background a handsome balustrade. There are many designs for formal gardens, but all of them are based on a neat and balanced pattern. Where did you see your formal garden? Score 30 points. Informal garden. Question 22. Here we Western Supermare and is made entirely of plants, except of course the hands. I spy clever contrasts in colour, letters in white on blue, figures in white on green, etc. Such designs make great use of plants with colourful foliage, and the gardener has to tend them every day. What name or design is in your flower design? Name one plant used in it. 45 points. A rose tree, a weeping standard. 32. Most flower gardens have roses of one kind or another. Here is the weeping standard, not so common as the bush rose or the ordinary standard. It is a rambler rose, specially trained. I spy the stout stem in the middle of the bush, and the weeping sprays which hang to the ground. Where did you see your weeping standard rose tree, and what colour were the roses? 30 points. Rare garden fruits. Question 33. It's fun to find fruit in the garden, especially when it is ripe. I spy apples, pears, plums, raspberries and strawberries in many gardens. But on the I Spy trail, you should look out for the rare fruits too. Quince, a hard yellowish fruit used for jam. Bullace, a kind of plum. Medlar, mulberry, apricot, filbert and cranberry. Count your score for any one of them and give its name below. And in which month did you see it? 30 points. Training fruit trees. Question 34. Cordon. I spy a single stem with no side branches. There are double cordons and treble cordons as well. What kind of fruit tree was your cordon? 30 points. And here, espalier. I spy a central stem with a number of branches about a foot apart, trained to grow horizontally. This is a good shape to grow on a garden wall or supported by wires along the edge of a path. What kind of fruit tree was yours? 30 points. Question 36 is a standard. The commonest actually spied one of these, you would have been wandering around a museum. A sowing grass seed. Question 51. To make a good lawn, the seed should be sown evenly all over the plot. I spy that the gardener has divided his space into squares, so that in each one he will sow the same amount of seed. How much seed per square yard? Score 20. Laying turf. Turf for lawns comes in rolls. The sketch shows how it is laid down. I spy that, like brickwork, the joints are not continuous. How long was the roll of turf you saw? 20 points. Spraying the lawn. Gardeners like their sprays to imitate the gentle action of rain. I spy a swinging waterhead for that purpose. What made the waterhead swing? 25 points. Easy sweeper. It's simple, just push it along, and the revolving brush sends the leaves flying into the container. What is the container made of? 30 points. And then finally, a flame gun. This is question 55. To burn the weeds is one of the latest methods in gardening. As you push the gun along, a paraffin flame directed downwards by the hood scorches